I spoke to some fourth graders. And when I went there and went to speak to this class, there were a bunch of little girls there and they're like, "Are you really a developer?" And it was adorable. And I was like, "Yes, I am." And
if you bring me Legos that I can program, you've sold me.
yes. Oh yeah, that's always fun. Interacting, like tangible things that you can see and work with, I think is always super engaging, no matter what age.
My name is Azure McFarlane, and I work as a senior bioprocess engineer.
I am Adrienne Tacke. I am a senior developer advocate for MongoDB, and I previously was a software engineer, still try to be. What do you do professionally?
Sure, so my job is kind of a cornucopia of things. It's mainly providing technical support for a commercial drug manufacturing plant. I also do project management.
So I also do a large range of things, a large cornucopia of things. In this case, I do a lot of content creation regarding MongoDB. So whether that's teaching someone how to integrate MongoDB into their app, or answering questions on our community forum if someone's having a problem with it, or streaming on Twitch showing how to integrate something, or talking at a conference, or writing a blog post. So it could be any one of those things at any given moment. And depending on when we have new releases of particular projects or new features or bug fixes or things like that, it's our job to hopefully get the developers aware of those things and to show them how to use it and empower them so that they can create a bunch of really awesome things with MongoDB.
What first got you interested in the world of development, and when did you get started?
I only started in college, and even then it wasn't the industry in general. It was I needed to get a job to help pay for college. Student job at the IT help desk for my university. It was there that I found that I really enjoyed the problem solving, so helping people troubleshoot their issues on their computer. I got an internship which continued to increase my interest in this problem solving, right?
I did not get into tech really. I didn't know that I liked computers until very recently, to be honest. And I had done internships with like computational chemistry and really liked it. My background's in biochemistry, but it didn't occur to me that really anything I had done in the past, either related to computational chemistry or just really playing around with Power Automate, would result in like a career opportunity of sorts. So it's been pretty cool to see this transformation of light of thinking from, oh, this is fun, to, oh, maybe this could actually be something for me.
What do you like about working with Power Automation?
There's two sides of this for me. One is, for me, it's a puzzle. I really like problem solving a lot, and this is a great way to get my brain to think in a couple of different ways. Like, what is the logic that needs to be followed in order to make something happen? And then I would say on the user side of it is I'm helping somebody else solve their problem. And oftentimes when I'm building, sometimes people don't even realize that they're the recipients of automation, which I think is a pretty cool thing about it too. It's just that they know that something happens now. But it didn't require more of my time to do it. So I like being able to help folks solve their problems and reduce some time waste and help them get back to the things that are important. What inspired you to write your book, Coding for Kids?
So that book was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my career. It all started because I started to share my developer journey, per se, on Instagram. I didn't really intend to do, like the influencer thing. I was just like, here's me. I started to do that. I built a small community, and a lot of what I focused on in my posts are trying to teach something. In my journey of becoming a developer and talking to other devs, of really stepping in those shoes and seeing what was so difficult when being a newbie in this new thing that you're learning. Because I'm writing for kids who are 10 and up, or really just anyone who doesn't have a programming background. So I really poured a lot of that into this book of trying to say, is this engaging enough? Is this something that I understand? How do you stay close to your dev community?
Twitter. That social media thing where you're doing your own thing and people find you, that happened to me as well. I have to say that I haven't been huge on social media. For me, social media can be a little overwhelming sometimes. After I did a demo last year for a women in tech group called the TechStylers, and they encouraged me to start sharing my work there. So this is how I keep in contact with with folks at this point, whether we're, sharing each other's tweets. If somebody's putting out a video, a blog post, we connect there. But I'm also in a couple of group chats within Twitter with the tech community. So I think it's a neat place where you can have some of these more private conversations as well, but also very public. And within the context of the pandemic, right? Like virtual is really the only way that we have to stay connected. So I've met a lot of people over the internet, but never in person over the past year or so, and it's been pretty cool how we have like this friendship now, and we're very close, but we've never been in the same room together. Question for you. So you teach Azure Courses. What motivated you to do that?
I'm signed up to the Women Who Code newsletter. And so one of the listings on there was we need a cloud instructor. I just wanted to find out what it was. And so it was kind of a cool thing to see that there were other kinds of people who were able to teach this kind of content. I tried it out. Again, I didn't think I could do it because I felt, who is going to listen to me? Who's going to take me seriously for this kind of topic? No, we love the way that you explain it, because sometimes people will understand something if it's taught in a different way. I absolutely loved knowing that I could, number one, be representative of what else is out there in terms of cloud instructors for video platforms. And number two, that I got to teach the way that I like to teach, do really silly analogies. And sometimes, that's not taken seriously, or they think, oh, that's too silly. But sometimes you need that kind of simple explanation for it to really click. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Do the thing if it scares you anyway. And this has been like a repeated, I would say, theme in my life. So Donna Sarkar, who's part of the Microsoft community, her big thing is also do the thing. It really does make you want to push further. I'm the kind of person that if I don't even try, then at some point I'm probably going to have some measure of regret. And I don't want to go through life like that, thinking, oh, I could have tried to do that. So regardless of how it makes me feel in the beginning, that I'm nervous to do it, just to do it anyway and see what happens. I would say even that's very applicable towards working with Power Automate these days. Is my first conference was, people were like, you should do a conference. And I was like, why would I ever do a conference? I'm just a newbie. And they were like, just do it. Just do it. And I'm so glad I did, because it's been a fantastic way, to meet other people in the community, and then also have the opportunity to teach other people as well. What is your favorite part about code.org?
There's a lot, but I first heard about code.org with their Hour of Code initiative. So every year they would do a really massive campaign to do an hour of code. And so they kind of grown into this larger organization with that initiative in mind, is to really teach as many people as possible about how awesome coding is and what you can do with it. They have this volunteer program. And so that has been my favorite part, because pre-pandemic, I got called to several different schools across Las Vegas. That's definitely my favorite part about code.org, is just getting the call or an email from all of these different teachers to say, hey, can you come stop by and talk to my class? And so that's been super fulfilling, especially for the younger students.
If anybody's looking to get into the Power Platform space, I would say Shane Young is a really great person to follow on social media. So he does YouTube and also posts on Twitter, and he makes explaining how to build apps, how to build associated flows with them so very easy.
Her name is Veni Kunche. She is an amazing Indian American software engineer mom, and she just started she focuses on underrepresented people in tech and kind of built this whole platform around that. So that's from job postings where they, more importantly, pay you correctly, pay you equally, make sure culture fit is all there. Twitter. So I would highly recommend Veni Kunche. Can you tell me more about TechStylers and what that is?
Sure. So this is the first, I would say, tech group that I really belong to that was outside of work for women in tech, but is all people friendly. And a friend of mine had encouraged me to get in contact with the leader. Her name is Foyen. I have a friend who's looking for somebody to do a demo for the Power Platform. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So I met Foyen and she's like, oh, I lead a women in tech group. Foyen's from Nigeria, but this is a global women in tech group, and she was looking for more members, more speakers. I showed up last June with a flow that I had built, and I was exploring things like switch cases, for a real world use case like at my job, and demoed it there, has become one of the communities that I have turned to, not only to support in terms of like demo feedback, but it is like career advice. We've had life coaches in there come in and talk to us about, as being women in tech, like how to advocate for yourself. There's a wide breadth of experience there. Folks who've been in the industry for years, some who are like, I don't even know if I want to be in tech, but I'm tech curious. And if anyone's ever interested, you can find them at tech_stylers on Twitter. So this was an absolute pleasure to do. And so thank you to the Windows dev team for finding both of us and pairing us up.
I hope we can find each other in real life, because I feel like there's so much more to talk about, and it's been a great conversation.